What's going on YouTube? Darksword255 here, where the numbers may be randomly generated, but the content itself is not, and I feel very illuminated today. Normally, I am like a cave creature in the dark, but there is some very important announcements that Polarium has come out with. Obviously, I'm not the first content creator to talk about this because I don't have special access, but there's been a lot of rumors around the new event dungeon, new champions, new fusion, and the new faction that is potentially going to be coming out. The fact of TMNT, oh my God, is basically confirmed. Polarium just put out a graphic going over what they're going to be adding into the game starting on Thursday the 21st. They're going to be adding 6 new legendary champions, a daily login chase, an event dungeon with a new gear set, 8 event relics, a fragment summon event, and other tournaments, events, and activities. But this is what the whoever runs their socials forgot to change the name. So when you go ahead and download the graphic for this, it says RD TMNT event infographic. So TMNT has been basically confirmed to be coming into the game, guys. I mean, this would be like the ultimate switch up if they end up changing it. To become part of my team, click the link in the description right now to get Elenaril for free, as well as 3 more amazing epic champions as you level up. Here's how you do it. Log out of Polarium Play on your PC and uninstall it. Click the link in the description, register with a brand new email, launch raid, and complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox and claim your first champion. Don't miss out on this chance to get a free Elenaril along with 3 epics as you progress through raid. Click on my link right now and let's get started. In today's video, I wanted to highlight some important things to prepare for this event. When you're going between fusion to fusion, you should always be gathering resources until the next fusion. Every single time, every single day, if you can. If you have a free-to-play account, it's even more important because you cannot use the crutch of, hey, let me grab my mom's credit card and buy some shards. So I'm gonna go through this video, guys, what I do to gather as many resources between fusions as I can. So when the fusion comes around, I have everything that I could possibly need. Alrighty, guys, so I know that I harp on this every single time I do a video like this, but doing 3v3 tag team arena is so important. You want to do your best to get as many of these medals as you can. Now, obviously you want to be the highest rank that you can achieve. And what I do every week is on Monday or Sunday after reset, if I'm awake at that time, I will strip my team to drop all the way down. So then I can just easily just find these one battle teams so I can farm a ton of medals. Now, this is why I think it's so important. Weekly, you could get a ton of energy weekly. You can get a ancient shard. You can get bruise. You could also get, if you're, in silver, you could get a void shard. If you're gold, you could get a sacred shard. Obviously not everybody's in gold, not everybody's in silver, but at least in the bronze, getting this right here, the ancient shard, and getting the energy and even getting the XP bruise are so important. Now, why is that? Because you need energy to do dungeon divers. You need the energy to do champion chase sometimes. You need for tournaments, spider, all an assortment of different things. Having energy is so important. Obviously, getting the shards is also important, so you can do champion chases, summon rushes. So you can only grab these once a week, right? So it's very important to be farming these medals so you have a lot of them. So when your weekly reset happens on the lower end, you can go ahead and buy these resources. Now, are they like the greatest? Like, is it like, not a lot of people like tag team. I like tag team because I like, I think that these resources are worth farming for. I know that they've already talked about updating this, but this is just for the time being. You get a lot of medals, and then at the end of the week you also get a lot of medals. Now, that's one thing to gather resources, number 1. Number 2, doing some of these events, if they're within reach, like you shouldn't be like dumping all of your resources to let's say do a ascension challenge where you have to go kill like Sand Devil and stuff, right? You don't want to be dumping all your resources. So you want to do certain tournaments and events that are like, let's say like gear enhancement events. You don't want to dump all your energy and you don't want to dump all your silver, but if you can get like, let's say an extra 50 silver, then you want to do that, as well as doing your dailies, doing your daily login. You'll get an energy refill, as well as sometimes, like right here, if you do a live arena, you get 50 right here. And then sometimes for the daily advanced quest, you get another. So there's a bunch of energy and gems that you're able to collect. Oh my God, there's actually so much. There's 100 energy right here. And 230 energy just in the advanced quests right here, guys. And then, I mean, obviously the gems are, 10 gems, great, but gems equal a numerous amount of things, guys. We get it, Plarium. They equal shards if you're in a pinch. They equal, 11 shards. So if you're right on the cusp of being able to finish like a summon rush or a champion chase, this could come in handy. Or even more importantly, what I use gems for is just basically energy. If I'm in a dungeon and let's say that I obviously have a lot of energy because I hoard it like a squirrel for events that are coming up. Let's say I'm in a pinch and I need energy, right? I can use these gems for energy. And also for champion training, if you're lazy, like some of us, you could buy the masteries for champions and that gives you points as well. So, gathering as much energy as you get, you get your daily like playtime, you get your daily from your missions, and then you get energy from your advanced quest. So there's 3 ways right there to be gathering energy just by existing in the game, Now, another thing that I think is important as well, if you could do your faction wars. Now, why is faction wars important other than obviously the glyphs are imperative? Even if you can't do hard, you get these materials. Now, why is this important? So let's say you're like me, and right now I just happen to have a lot of silver. Let's say you're like me and you don't have a lot of silver, but you have an unbelievable, as you can see, amount of resources that craft gear. My voice. So if I needed silver in a pinch, I could craft a bunch of resources within here that I am just going to 100% because for my account, I don't need 5-star gear. I could sell all of this and get an unbelievable amount of silver to then be able to use in your artifact enhancement events. What I also like to do on downtimes like this, updating, my artifacts and my accessories to level 15. So I have a bunch of, things that are level 15 that I can then go ahead when it's an artifact enhancement, and then boom, next level 16, you get a ton of points. You don't get any points for going from level 12 to 15. You get a bunch of points from hitting level 12 and hitting level 16. So if you have a bunch of, like I said, during the downtime right now, and you have to do that level 4 artifacts, an artifact 4 times, just get a bunch of pieces to level 15 that you're planning on keeping. So you could then go ahead and roll them up again just for those massive amount of points, because leveling up level 6-star gear to 16, you get 380 for the most part points. It depends, but like that's and what I normally do. So you get a ton of points there. It doesn't cost you as much silver because you have, you're just passively have been getting all of these plus 15 pieces of gear and you're just, just hoarding onto them. What I also like to do, guys, is getting brews is super important. So there's different ways to get brews. I showed you one way earlier. One way was in tag team. Another way is depending on your clan shop. This rotates every 7 days. It just rotated now. Gathering the resources from your clan shop is super important. Obviously, depends on what level your clan is. Your clan might not be very high, but this right here, which my face is blocking, is sometimes energy. You can get up to 1,000 energy. You get up to 1,000 energy every other week, basically. And you also want to, if you can, obviously I have a ton of coins, but buying this is I think like 4 or 5 mil silver that you could buy. So if you're in a pinch or if the week is about to reset, it's always advantageous of you to buy the silver because getting silver in this game costs energy. And if you can use different resources to like bolster yourself without utilizing other resources. So like instead of me having to go to the farm to get silver, I can get silver here. So basically I'm not using the energy for the, that's comparable. That's a good way to do it. Also, there's skill tomes that are in the shop every other week as well. So that is another great avenue. Obviously, doing your hydra is important also, which is, not as important in the grand scheme of things. You do get a bunch of gear from it, which is good because if you need to level up gear, you need to sell gear, you're getting free resources from doing your weeklies. So Chimera and your hydra. Again, you don't necessarily get points for doing this, for like completing these other than like the rewards, but they're still important to progress your account. So you should just be doing that kind of in general. Doing live arena is also important, which I know the vast majority of you guys hate. I hate it sometimes too, but sometimes you just got to do some things that you hate, right? You get energy, you get these chests, obviously, depending on what rank you are. The chests give you different things. You get rewards for leveling up here, and you also get not a login. If you get 35 wins, you have the ability to get the primal quartz, which gives you the ability to get a primal shard, which in a summoning rush, that's 1800 points sometimes. Or I mean, actually, that might be wrong. Don't quote me on that. Summon rush or champion chase. Like doing this, while it is annoying, it is very beneficial. And you know what? It doesn't really honestly matter if you win or lose a lot. You know, just hammering it out to get those rewards is super, super important. And also what's really important is doing your Doom Tower, right? You get an unbelievable amount of resources every single day while doing your Doom Tower. You get gems, you get chickens, you get energy, you get books. I mean, obviously I'm doing hard right now, but look at all, you get sacred shards, void shards, you get a lot of really great resources from completing Doom Tower. But what is also even more important is completing your secret rooms. They give you the fragments that you can, if you collect enough of them, you can summon a champion. So what I try to do is during the downtime, right? I'm collecting as many fragments. Like I'm about to get this guy. Like, and this is a huge, like when champion chase comes around, this is a huge amount of points that I can get by unlocking this guy. So even like the epics, I'll hoard on to the epics as well. So when, like I said, these are big like chase events happen, I can, instead of using all of my shards, instead of me like going into the piggy bank and buying shards, instead of me using my gems, this is an easy way for champion chase for you to get free points. So doing your Doom Tower, doing the secret rooms is also super, super important to prepare for these massive events. Now, I like to try to put people in the training ring because when champion training comes around and you're claiming these, you get a ton of points for leveling up champions through here. So even leaving this, so like when this hits 50 in 18 hours, I might not even hit collect, or I might not even hit upgrade until the event comes around so I can get the points for it. So like, that's another way to like kind of skirt the system. There's also ways to utilize your brews strategically within like champion training events, which I think I'm going to cover in another video once we have to deal with champion training. I cannot stand champion training, but there are ways to maximize champion training without farming a bunch of resources, or without doing campaign battles, without burning all your energy. There's ways to do it that are a lot more resource friendly, but it's still terrible in my eyes. Finally, guys, this is what I will say as well. Trying to do, actually, sorry, two things, and then that's going to be it for me. Doing your clan boss, you guys get you get 4 keys a day. You get 4 keys a day, and you get an unbelievable amount of resources. You get sacred shards if you're on the top end. You get sacred books, you get gems, you get obviously gear, you get shards, you get a lot of really great things from, and brews, you know, you get a lot of really great things from completing clan boss. And like I said, you get 4 keys a day. Well, the potential to hit 4 keys, because every 6 hours, you get a key. So you have a chance of getting 4. So doing the top 4 that you can do is so beneficial, because even if you're doing brutal, it's still like brutal, hard, or anything, you still have the chance of getting a lot of really great. See, I just got an ancient shard right from brutal. Like that's a free ancient shard. So doing your clan boss, super important. And finally, guys, this is what I will leave you with. If you can, obviously you don't want to use a ton of silver until the event actually starts, but creating teams that can farm dungeons efficiently is so important, because you want to be able to, sorry, I was doing the lizard event, but doing your dungeons quickly and efficiently. Obviously, like creating a team that can 100% a dungeon is so important, because then you're not wasting resources. Number one, that's what's really important. You want to go as high as you can in these stages and be able to create a team that's a 100% team. Now, obviously, the goal is to create like a stage 10 team that works. And let's say it takes you 5 minutes, but it's a 100% team. Then lowering that 5-minute team down to 3 minutes. Then lowering that 3-minute team down to 1 minute. So on and so forth. That's the like level of progression you want. But before these big events, you want to set up optimized teams to be able to farm the highest level of these dungeons that you can. It's very important because if, let's say, a Fire Knight team, Fire Knight comes around, you get obviously more points the higher the level are, because the higher the gear that you can get from them. Obviously, it's better for you to farm the highest level, so especially in hard, so you can get mythical gear. But it's, farming this 100% is super, super important. Now, my free-to-play account cannot even hit hard. Can't hit it. Do not have the champions to hit hard, which is a bummer, but I have an amazing quick team that can handle beating down the normal Fire Knight like pretty easily. But these right here are very important to come up with 100% teams. Or what you could do is creating either 100, you should make a 100% fast team, as fast as you can make it for the highest level, and you should also make a farming team. For me, I like farm Ice Golem 7. So when Ice Golem 7 comes around, what I normally do is I will like put a bunch of food in here and have Ardak just solo it, right? Like, is it doing the highest level? No, but there's a lot of the time that these events and these like challenges overlap with each other. So there could be an Ice Golem tournament at the same time that there is a champion training happening. So doing both of these events at once, you're saving a bunch of silver energy by utilizing your farming the dungeon as well as leveling up food, and at the same time. Obviously, not every account can do that, right? I'm not ignorant. I'm just saying that if you have the capability of doing that, you should do it. Your highest priority is obviously making a fast team for the highest dungeon you can do. And then your second objective is making a team that can farm with food, right? Two different things. And you don't really get points for doing Shogun or Sand Devil, but you can also make, farming teams. Like this is a farming team that I can use food for. I can't do it with Shogun. So mainly if I want to like just get some more dust, I can and like champion training's going on. Not 100% the greatest use of my energy, but I'm able to at least get, other resources that I might need. And my final piece of advice, I know I keep saying that, is during these major events, CVC will come around and personal CVC will come around, right? You're going to be tempted to dump all your resources for the personal rewards. I would say do your polls, do your levels, do your summons and everything with a strategy in mind, right? You don't want to pull all of your shards. Like right now, there's an extra summoning event. Very tempting to dump, to level up dump all my shards. But I know that there's some big events coming up very soon. So I'm hoarding my shards. I do not have a lot of shards. I'm kind of like, because I pulled all of my shards to try to get that high elf, which of course I didn't get. Big Papa Drock also got scammed, but I digress. Anyways, guys, hoard your shards, hoard your fragment summons, your energy, your gems, your silver. Those are some great ways to prepare for these major events. And then when the event dungeon comes out, if you're not 100% into raid, meaning like this isn't your life, I would wait to start the event dungeon until you see some other content creators like rolling with certain teams, so you're not wasting your energy. Again, that's if you're kind of a casual player, that's a really sound strategy. But yeah, guys, I hope this video helps you out. Are you guys excited for the new massive events that are going to be starting very, very soon? Let me know down in the comments. I'll see everybody in the next video.